It's time for Making Democracy Work, a weekly program produced in cooperation with the League of Women Voters of Southwest Missouri. Your host today is Judy Dasovitch.
Our guest today is Jeff Barber. Jeff is a lead AP architect and the Housing and Environmental Design State Specialist for the Southwest region of the University of Missouri Extension Program. Jeff, tell us about your position with the Missouri Extension and also what is a lead AP architect?
Okay. Well, first of all, lead AP is an accredited professional that is knowledgeable in the leadership in energy and environmental design program with the United States Green Building Council. My role with University of Missouri Extension, particularly as an architect, is to help persons with housing and environmental design issues, and that's everything ranging from simple home weatherization and healthy homes issues, think mold, radon, and those types of things, all the way through a collaborative that I've been doing with Drury University on community visioning, and up to this point we've done 36 community projects in 30 different communities in Missouri.
You are involved in a program called PACE, which stands for Property Assessed Clean Energy for Missouri. Tell us about PACE.
Well, PACE is a unique opportunity. It gives us the ability to avoid some of the hurdles that have been out there for energy efficiency and renewable energy measures in the past, primarily financing or funding. And what it allows are property owners to essentially fund this up front and then pay it back through a special assessment on their property. In Missouri, it's interesting. PACE was supported by a broad coalition of groups and passed by the Missouri General Assembly in a bipartisan effort by the House on a vote of 144 to 11. That's a huge endorsement of what kind of bipartisan support that this effort had, and really demonstrates the faith that the legislators in Missouri had for this program. There are actually 30 states in the union that are now offering this to their citizens, and it's a great way to jump over that first hurdle of the financial barrier.
What are the key aspects of PACE?
Well, first of all, break it down into its name, Property Assessed Clean Energy. What that means is, for the first time, we have allowed private property owners to begin to utilize the municipal funding market of municipal bonds and so forth to generate funds which they can then put towards energy efficiency and renewable energy measures on their private property and also public property. Primarily, PACE offers communities a new economic development tool at little or no cost that allows owners of property to pursue energy efficient and renewable energy improvements on private and public property. Things that are important to know about this is that owners have no upfront cost, and they can actually pay for this through the future accumulated savings to cover those costs. So as they save on their utility bill, that savings is the amount that they can use to provide the payment for this PACE assessment. And that comes annually on their property taxes, or in the case of the district that we're trying to establish in Springfield and Greene County, could be paid actually directly to the district. The thing that's important to remember is that the law in Missouri allows a political subdivision to provide this, and a key aspect or important part of that is that these communities may not be able to do this on their own, but as they aggregate across the state, then they begin to develop enough economic potential in the program to pay for things like the legal costs and so on.
So what projects are eligible? Can you give us a few examples?
Sure. The first one that most people would like to know about more than likely are businesses. If you have a business or some sort of industry, ag, all of those fall into it. Additionally, when we have multifamily housing, 5 units and over, that becomes an eligible property, as well as nonprofits and public property as well. And the thing that is interesting about that is, traditionally or currently in Missouri, those nonprofits and public properties are tax exempt. And what they would do to participate in this is actually agree to be taxed or to receive the assessment on their property to pay off that PACE lien that they would have on the property.
Now, you had mentioned that the savings that come through the energy efficiency projects are credited. Did I understand that correctly?
Well, what we do is we look at it like a business model, which is we're going to be spending that money anyway on utilities, and if we can have energy efficiency improvements that will save money, we can then capture those savings and then use that money to pay for the lien. Now, what that really means is that it's up to us as a property owner to do that. We ask that if you do have a primary mortgage lender, that they offer consent, and then ideally they have the option to set up escrow to pay monthly so that you can accumulate those funds and then pay out to the funding district.
What is the background of PACE?
Well, it started actually in 2009. It was out in California and part of the general notion of making the country more energy efficient as a way to jumpstart the economy. And as that became a popular thing, we saw that they were having successes in the San Francisco area, Berkeley in particular. Then it became a model that the federal government became interested in, Department of Energy, and has slowly began to move across the country.
Are there communities in southwest Missouri that participate?
Well, there are. We have probably in the neighborhood of 10 right now, and what has to happen for them to be able to participate is their city government or county government has to pass either an ordinance or a resolution that says that they will become part of the PACE funding district or the larger political subdivision in order to allow that property assessment to flow through to the properties within their limits, whether it's a county limit or city limit. And the county only covers those areas that are unincorporated, so that's important to remember.
How would a community get started in participation in this program?
The easiest way is to contact University of Missouri Extension, myself, Jeff Barber, and if you'll do that, then what we can do is start the process of getting you the sample ordinance and resolution language, talk to your civic leaders, try to help them understand how this can be a new economic development tool for their communities that won't sell out the prosperity of the future, but rather create a stronger and more durable or resilient local economy. The nice thing that's important for this too is if we get in there and we engage our contractors, then they become knowledgeable about this, and when they're knowledgeable, then they can actually put it out there as a marketing tool, if you will, to help finance or pay for the improvements that we're looking at achieving on all these properties. So it really becomes a way for us to retool our communities.
What is the residential roadblock?
Yes, the problem that we had early on in PACE is that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac saw this coming through and the potential of it as a senior lien on the property. It does get back to one of the key aspects, which is when the property sells and you and I say you bought the property from me after I've made the improvements, that lien would actually transfer to you. And in doing so, it survives closure. And the concern that Fannie and Freddie had is that if a property went through foreclosure, that would somehow have to be resolved or settled, and that would decrease their potential recovery. So they have basically blocked anything that's in the 1 to 2 family range, and so it really starts at 5 units plus and then moves up.
I see. Thank you, Jeff, for being on our program today. Our guest has been Jeff Barber, the Housing and Environmental Design State Specialist for the Southwest region of the University of Missouri Extension Program. I'm Judy Dasovitch, and this has been a program of the League of Women Voters at Southwest Missouri. This program and others are available on the web at ksmu.org. Click on the Series tab and then on Making Democracy Work. Thank you for listening.